DidikTV KPM.
Hello friends, let me introduce to you my neighbors. Here on my right hand side I have Fira, and on my left hand side I have Ashraf. Well, the similarity between them is that they both have jobs, but Ashraf, he moved out of his family home and has his own place, while Fira still lives with her family. Now, I recently got a job too, and I'm thinking whether to follow Fira or whether to follow Ashraf, who lives on his own. Well, I'm not too sure. What do you guys think? Let's have Mr. Mohana help me out. Mr. Mohana.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Mohana. I'm great. But right now, I'm still thinking of whether to follow Ashraf or Fira, my neighbors, on whether to move out of my house or to live on my own, Mr. Mohana. Can you help me?
Well, moving out, living on your own, and staying with your family both have its pros and cons. But let's think about living with your family. When you live with your parents, your meal is always prepared.
Wow.
You don't have to think about a lot of things. The bills are taken care of, and you can just lead a carefree life. What about that?
Those are very, very good points, but I still think I need a lot more thinking to do, Mr. Mohana.
Well, you can start thinking.
Of course. Well, friends, let's get into class and we'll decide together, shall we? Let's go! Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera friends. You're watching DidikTV KPM, and for today our slot is Menengah Atas, and for our subject today we are learning Bahasa Inggeris for Tingkatan 5. Okay, I hope you're all doing great because today we're going to do a lot of writing skills. But before that, as you can see just now, we've introduced our teacher who is here in the studio with us, Mr. Mohana Ram from SMK Perempuan Methodist Ipoh Perak. Hi teacher, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, and you're looking very dapper today.
Thank you. You look good too.
Thank you. All right, not to forget as well, we have our sign language interpreter, teacher Kulina from SMK Sultan Abdul Samad, Selangor. Hello, teacher Kulina. How are you? Great. It's good to have you back. All right. Now, our class wouldn't be complete without pupils with us, so let's have them here in the studio with us. Hello, pupils. How are you? I hope you're all doing great. They're all from SMK Perempuan Methodist Ipoh as well, right, teacher?
Yes.
Okay, let's introduce them one by one, please.
Okay. Adriana, say hi.
Hello, Adriana.
Danyashri.
Hi.
And we also have Fong Vini here.
From Vini, hello.
And last but not least, Isha.
And Isha. All right. They're all looking very cheerful today. Glad to have you here with us. All right, Mr. Mohana, now that we've known that today's subject is Bahasa Inggeris, what on earth is our topic? Wow, what is it, Mr. Mohana?
For today, we are going to look at what on earth. It's basically the topic for Unit 10.
Oh, it is?
It's for Unit 10, and we are looking at writing skills. We are going to focus on writing skills, basically deciding where on earth you want to live.
No wonder we were having a short sketch just now talking about that. Now, what about that? Has it to do with today's lesson?
Yes, in today's lesson, we are going to focus whether on a writing skill with deciding whether students want to live, decide on living where on Earth, meaning to say whether they want to live with their family or they want to live on their own once they start working.
Okay, right. Mr. Mohana, you can proceed.
All right, okay, let's get started with our lesson today. So, for today's topic, we have What's on Earth, Unit 10. And students, you can look at your English download textbook, page 131. Okay, and before we start the lesson today, let us look at the standards. All right, so in today's lesson, as I said earlier, the main skill and the complementary skill, both the skills are writing. Okay, we are looking at writing skills completely here. So the first standard here, writing 4.1.3, where you will be explaining the main points for and against an idea or argument. And the complementary skill, we will be looking at organizing, sequence and develop ideas within a text of several paragraphs on familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. And as for the learning objectives, the first learning objective here, we will be constructing sentences for and against the issue discussed using appropriate structure. And the second learning objective would be organize and develop ideas in paragraphs using appropriate connectives. So pupils, are you ready? Can I see thumbs up?
All right, give us a thumbs up, please.
Yeah, okay, so now let's look at these pictures. Now there are two pictures here. The first picture is a picture of a guy or a young adult enjoying the solace of his own home away from parents. Okay, and the second picture is an adult living with his or her family, with the parents, living with their parents' home. Now, I would like to ask you, look at both these pictures. As a young working adult, which one would you prefer? Staying with your parents or moving out and live on your own? Okay, now, pupils, who would like to give your opinion first?
Okay, can you raise your hands, please?
Okay, Isha. Okay, yeah, Isha, what would you like to say here?
As young working adults, I would prefer to live alone because I can do anything I want without being restricted.
Wow.
Okay,
she
good.
enjoys being in solace.
Yeah, okay, she chose to live alone. Okay, now, anybody else have any other opinion here?
All right, next, who do we have?
Okay, Vinny. Yes, Vinny.
In my opinion, I prefer to stay with my parents because I was scared to live alone.
Oh, okay, she's scared to live alone. Okay, you still need to live with your parents. Okay, good, Vinny. And what about Dania and Adriana? Do you have any opinion here? Would you like to share? Okay, Dania?
In my opinion, I'd prefer living alone because, to be honest, I'm an introvert and in my daily life, I avoid interactions at all costs. So living alone would definitely be my cup of tea.
Okay, so living alone will be your cup of tea. So does it mean by living alone, cutting ties with your family?
That was what I was thinking
that's something
as well.
that we have to think about here, right? Okay, and we have Adriana. Adriana, do you have anything to say here, Adriana?
Yes, as a young working adult, I would prefer to live with my family members because I would get to eat my mom's cooking every day.
Okay,
that's
all right.
nice.
Well, that's nice. Okay, Shafika.
Yes.
Now, I have a question. Have you decided whether you want to live with your family or you want to live on your own?
You know what? I love living with my family because I love spending time with them. But of course, I think I would live on my own to be more independent.
Okay. Okay, let us see whether you change your mind after this lesson.
Okay, all right, Mr. Mohana, before we go for a break, let's give them a bit of a star, perhaps for pupils for answering.
Not yet.
Not
okay, we'll give them
yet.
star at the end of this segment.
I see. Okay, so let's continue.
Okay, now girls, look at these words. Okay, these are some keywords associated to either living alone or living with family. So now I would like you to identify key phrases, okay, that are associated with living alone. Okay, find as many as you want and say it out. So have you found any? Who would like to go first?
Okay. I see a few.
Okay, Adriana.
Adriana.
Adriana, we can't hear you.
I think you need to, turn on your mic.
It's on.
Oh, it's on. Okay. All right. There was a bit of a delay. Okay, go ahead.
Lonely, self-sufficient, and freedom.
Okay, you found three. You have lonely here. You have
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficient here.
And
And
freedom.
freedom. Okay. Now, Adriana, what does it mean by self-sufficient?
Settling everything on your own.
Again, Adriana, we can't hear you.
Can
Is
you
it
repeat
like
that?
settling everything on your own, where you don't need to depend on anyone to satisfy your needs?
Okay, all right. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, I'm sure you have done your homework well. Good. Okay. Okay, anybody else? Did you find any other words? Okay, yeah, Dania Shri.
All right.
Budgeting
Okay, it's
and
on.
organizing online.
Okay, organizing own life. Another one was
Budgeting.
budgeting.
Budgeting,
All right. Okay.
uh-huh.
So when you live on your own, you have to do budgeting. Okay. So anybody else
Who would like to go next?
who would like to go next? Okay. Yeah, Isha.
Own rules, independence, and housework.
Own rules and independence as well as housework. Yes, when you live on your own, you have to think about the housework that you
Yeah.
have to do on your own. Nobody's going to do anything for you.
But Mr. Mohana, sometimes at your family house, you also have to do a lot of chores.
But you share the chores with the
You
family
share,
members,
of
right?
course.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and one more person?
Yes, our last pupil.
Okay, yes, Vinny.
I think it's responsible and paying bills.
Okay, responsible and paying bills. Okay, so now, well done, girls. Okay, so you have identified the keywords that are associated with living alone. These are the ideas that you can extend further into a sentence or into a paragraph. Okay, so these whereas the words that are not circled here, okay, these words are actually associated with living with your family. Okay, for example, helping one another. When you live with your family, you definitely need to help your siblings, with your parents, and so on. All right? So, okay,
All right,
so
Mr.
now, so that for today's lesson, for the first part of the lesson, we have actually looked at the keywords that are associated with living alone and also living with family.
Yes. All right, Mr. Mahana. That was quite a bit of a activity we had there. I hope pupils at home also had a bit of fun doing that. But Mr. Mohana, of course, do we get to give them stars now?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
all
Okay,
right.
so how many stars should we give them?
I think it's up to you, Mr. Mohana.
Okay, I think we should give them just 1 star because
One
it's just
star.
identifying words. Okay, will
Okay.
that 1 star do, girls? Can I see thumbs up?
All right.
Okay, so all of you get one star per person. Let us see at the end of the lesson how many stars you can accumulate. All right?
All right, Mr. Mohana. I'm sure they love these stars. It's very lovely. Okay, let's go for a short break now and we'll be right back for Bahasa Inggeris on DidikTV KPM.
DidikTV KPM.
And we're back on DidikTV KPM for our slot Menengah Atas. And today we are learning Bahasa Inggeris. And for our topic for this segment, it's about writing. We've learned about writing and we're going to learn more writing after this with Mr. Mohana. Mr. Mohana, without wasting any more time, let's proceed.
Okay, Shafiqah, in this section, we are only going to focus on writing introduction. Now, first, let us look at the question. Okay, this question is taken from your English download textbook, page 131. So before we go more into details on how to write introduction, pupils, would anyone like to read the task for me? Who would like to read?
Who's doing the honor first?
Adriana.
Adriana.
Okay, Adriana. Yes, please go, Adriana.
does it going home to mom and dad? 19-year-old sing star Amy Gonzalez shocked friends yesterday when she announced she was giving up her city center apartment and going back to live with her parents. She said her cultural upbringing meant that she and her parents missed living together in a strong family unit. Do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Why or why not? Explain your opinion, giving specific reasons to support your view.
All right, thank you, Adriana. So the question here for the writing task is, do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of the families? Why or why not? Explain your opinion, giving specific reasons to support your view. Now, for this task, we are only going to focus on writing an introduction for this question, right? So before we go into the writing task, let us look at some of the ideas that you need to keep in mind when you're writing an introduction. First, you have to understand that an introduction is the part of an essay which you present the topic, making general remark about it without giving your own opinion. Okay, so in introduction, you do not give your personal opinion yet, right? Then you have to use the keywords given in the instruction in your introduction. And when you are writing an introduction, remember that you do not write a lengthy introduction. And your introduction should give an idea to the readers on what the rest of your essay is going to be about. Meaning to say, when I read your introduction, I should have a general idea of what the rest of the essay is going to be about. Okay, let us look at this example here. Okay, let me read it out for you. As foreign travel becomes increasingly cheap and convenient, more and more people are discovering new places. Many prefer them to their own countries and decide to move there. But is living abroad as easy as it seems? Now, this is an introductory paragraph for an essay. Now, before we go into the next task, girls, can you all please tell me what this introduction is trying to tell us and what the rest of the essay is going to be about based on the introduction alone? Okay, who would like to go first?
Okay.
Okay, Dania, 3, yes?
Sir, is it about living abroad?
Okay, good, yes. The keyword here is living abroad, okay, but there is more to it. Okay, anybody would like to extend Dania's idea?
All right, who would like to help?
Okay, Vinny?
Teacher, is it about why people go overseas?
Okay, you're almost there. Okay, Dania says it's about living abroad. Vinny says, is it about going overseas? Now, okay, but there is more to it. Anyone would like to add to what so that we can get the clear idea of what this introduction is about? Okay, yes, Isha?
Is it about the advantages and disadvantages of living abroad?
Okay, yes, Isha. Okay, bingo, you got. I think I have to give you 2 stars here for actually giving us the right answer. Right? It is about living abroad, okay? But it says, but is living abroad as easy as it seems? Okay, that's the question here. So you see, this is an introduction that I'm sharing with you here to show you a picture of how an introduction should be, which should reflect the entire idea of your essay. So now let us look at the task here. Do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Now, if you see here, for your introduction, the key idea that you need to pick here are those underlined phrases. Okay, young people should leave home when they start working, learn to become independent of their families. Okay, and if you see, I did not underline the phrase why or why not. So you should remember in your introduction, you should not write why or why not, but give a general idea of the issue. Okay, so take about a minute, okay, or shorter than that to prepare your introduction. Can you girls? Thumbs up?
All right.
Okay, start preparing.
Okay, so we're giving them about how long? About a minute to
A minute,
write
yeah.
down?
I think a minute will do.
Okay, in the meantime, I'm sure like there's a few things that we can talk about.
Yes. Okay. Do you know? Okay,
Yeah.
Shafika, there is a country in the world where there are family units who choose to largely live together in a house. For example, a grandfather would have bought the house, but the son, the grandchildren, and then the entire extended family, they choose to live alone generation after generation.
After generation. So it goes on and on.
Yes.
Let me think about it. Other than Malaysia, right, teacher? India, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm sure you have watched a lot of Bollywood movies, don't you?
Well, Bollywood is my cup of tea. I love it.
Okay, yeah. So yes, generally India is a country where even today, working adults, young working adults do not move out from their family homes.
I see.
Okay, starting a life of their own is something very rare in India. Children choose to stay with their family, especially sons.
I see. But is it a thing that where the society, if they see people moving out of their homes and then living on their own, is that a thing that is against the norm?
Probably.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, girls, are you ready?
Yeah, I hope they're ready. That's about a minute over.
Okay, who would like to go first?
All right, raise your hand.
Who would like to go first? Okay, Vini. Okay, thank you for volunteering, Vini. Okay, Vini, can you read your introduction?
With the advancements of technology, humans are increasingly getting disconnected with other humans and prefer to live on their own, putting aside the values they may learn living with their family.
Okay, so all right. So you have an introduction without having a question at the end of your introduction. But good, okay, that is one way of writing. You say humans choose not to be connected with the rest of the world. Okay, thank you, Vini. I think I should give you 1 star for that. Okay, we give Vini 1 star.
Okay.
All right, now who would like to go next? Anyone? Okay, Isha, yeah.
Okay, Isha.
Isha or Dania? Isha, okay.
There has been a dramatic increase in the number of people who live alone in today's world. The trend is more rampant in the West than in Asian countries. Why is this happening? Is moving out from family home and staying alone a better option? From my standpoint, both approaches have their merits and demerits, and it is essentially a cultural thing.
Okay, good. Okay, good introduction, Isha. But as I said earlier, you should not start with your opinion yet. So probably you would like to omit in my standpoint. All right, your standpoint, the key phrase of standpoint there, you can omit that.
Right.
But for the effort that you have put in, don't you think we should give her another star?
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Totally.
so Isha is leading with 4 stars today. Wow.
Yeah, she is leading.
Okay,
All right,
now,
can we have Dania?
Okay.
Since she raised her hand, right?
Yeah, okay. Dania, I think you can save your answer for now, okay? Now, let us look at an example that I have prepared for you. Okay,
Alright.
let us look at this example. Okay, living independently away from home and parents have become a trend among young working adults today. While some people inspire young adults to move away from their parents' home in search for better education and job, many insist and prefer to keep their adult children under the same roof for guidance and protection. So, what would be a better option? Staying at home with parents or moving out? So, this is one example that I'm sharing with the 4 of you here and also with students at home so that you get an idea of how to write an introduction for this particular essay without putting in your opinion, without giving examples, and without giving any other extra details, which all these can be put into the body paragraph later. Right, Shafika?
Right, I totally agree. That's about it. Writing an introduction does not need your opinion, but it needs a general idea on the issue. All right, thank you, Mr. Mohana, for that. We'll go for a short break now, and we'll be right back for Slot Menengah Atas.
DidikTV KPM.
Hi friends, welcome back to DidikTV KPM. We're here for our slot menengah atas with Mr. Mohana, and not to forget our sign language interpreter, teacher Lina. All right, Mr. Mohana, what's our class or activity for today?
Okay, for this segment, we are going to look at writing a body paragraph. Okay, how to develop idea for a body paragraph. Now, let us look at the question. Do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Why or why not? So here, we are going to focus on the whys and why not. This is the idea that you need to explain in the body paragraph. And when you give your whys, you have to explain your opinion, give specific reasons. Okay, you have to give specific reasons. And it can also be examples to support your view. Right. Now, before we get started with this particular writing task, okay, let us just look at some examples on how to develop idea and support idea. Now, look at this one. Okay, in this table, I have one column of arguments, okay, on smartphones, and another column of justifications, justifying the ideas given for the argument, meaning to say an extended detail of the arguments. Now, for example, number 1, using smartphones can be extremely dangerous. Okay, so what is the justification to elaborate this idea? Now, girls, would anyone like to try? Do you know where the answer is, whether it's A, B, C, or D?
There are 4 choices there.
There are 4 choices there. Okay, yes, Adriana?
For number 1, I think it matches with the justification B, which is talking on smartphone while driving affects your concentration and increases the chance of an accident.
All right. Okay, thank you, Adriana. But I'm not going to give you stars yet. Later. We save the stars for later. All right? Yes, Adriana, correct. Using smartphones can be extremely dangerous. Talking on a smartphone while driving affects your concentration and increases the chance of an accident. Okay, so this is an example of how a main idea, you give an extension or support your main idea with more details. Now, let us look at number 2. Smartphones are very useful for people who are often on the move. Now, anybody has an answer for this? Do you know where the extension or the justification for this one? Who would like to try? Okay, yes, Dania Shri.
Okay.
I think the justification for number 2 is C. They can easily be contacted at any time, regardless where they are.
Okay, yes. Okay, number 2, smartphones are very useful for the people who are often on the move. They can easily be contacted at any time, regardless where they are. Okay, that is an additional detail that you are giving. How useful, you are explaining how it is useful for people who are always moving. Okay, that's a question of how that you're answering or why that you're answering here. Okay, and number 3, who would like to go for number 3? Okay, yes, Vinny?
I think number 3 is matched with D. The monthly charges are very expensive and cost you an arm and a leg.
Yes, the monthly charges are very expensive and can cost you an arm and a leg. How is this an extension for idea number 3? Some people claim that having smartphone is a waste of money. So when you say having a smartphone is a waste of money, people who is reading your particular paragraph might be wondering, how is it a waste of money? So you need to explain where you are spending your money when you have a smartphone. Not only after buying it, you won't spend any money. It's about the monthly charges and the cost and other costs. Like, for example, you may want to buy an extra apps, or you may want to buy an extra accessory for the smartphone, right?
Right.
Now, what about number 4, the last one? And yeah, we have only one person left. Would you like to try? Who's that here?
I think it was Isha.
Isha. Okay, Isha.
I think the answer for number 4 would be A, which is if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, you can call for help no matter where you are.
Okay, so in this task, we have clearly seen how your main ideas in a body paragraph need to be justified. But this is not enough. What you need to do is you also need to connect your ideas with sequence connectors, okay, which is very important when you are developing an idea in a body paragraph. just let us look at this short paragraph here. Okay, there are many advantages to having children at an early age. So here, if you see at the beginning of the paragraph, we start with there are many advantages. Okay, so meaning to say we are giving an explanation on advantages. A person who is reading this paragraph would immediately know, okay, the writer is going to explain to me the advantages. So there are many advantages to having children at an early age. So what do you think the next sentence should start with? To begin with or in addition to? Anybody?
I mean, anybody.
Okay,
is right.
Srini?
I think you start with to begin with.
Okay, to begin with. All right, yes, because you are starting with a point, so you don't use in addition to this. So when you are young, you have a lot of energy. This means you can cope quite easily with children's demands for constant care and attention. So what about the second one? Okay, the second one, we do not start with to conclude. We do not use to conclude here because you are not writing a conclusion. So we start with to begin with. So next we move to secondly. Right? Secondly, parents relate to their children. Okay, so number 3, who would like to give me the answer? What is the answer, number 3? Yes, Adriana?
I think therefore is suitable for this one.
Okay, yes, therefore, understand them better. Now, so now you are reaching for number 4. You see, when you become a parent at an early age, you are still young enough to enjoy life when your child becomes independent. So when you put finally here, meaning to say you are presenting your last idea. Alright, so this is how sequence connectors is important in idea development when you write a body paragraph. So remember, when you write a body paragraph, you not only you develop your ideas by giving examples or giving justification, but you also should be using sequence connectors to connect or link your ideas. Now, let us look at this task here. Okay, so we have a set of keywords for living alone and also living at home. Okay, so again, I'll read it out the question for you. Do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Why or why not? So now, girls, I want you to develop your body paragraph. You may use the keywords for living alone if you want to develop a body paragraph for living alone, or living at home. The keywords are here, or key phrases are here. So I want you to develop a short paragraph, okay? Use proper sequence connectors, okay? And explain your opinion by giving specific reasons to support your view. So take about a minute or 2 to develop your ideas. Can you, girls? Thumbs up?
Thumbs up, please.
Okay, good. Okay, start working on it now.
All right. Mr. Mohan, I was thinking if this table, let's say, it's like a easier way of jotting down your points for your body, is it?
Yes. These are the keywords that you can find in the textbook.
Oh, it's
okay,
in the textbook.
has given the keywords, okay, to make things easier for you. Okay, if you see this question, relatively it's a little difficult if you want to handle it just as a question. So these keywords is given as a support. So these keywords can be taken as a support to develop idea. For example, if self-sufficient, okay, you can use that particular keyword self-sufficient to develop your idea, explaining that when one lives alone, you do not seek help from anybody, okay, and then you justify what happened when you are self-sufficient. You become more independent, you become more confident, you become less reliable on other people. You feel that you can actually depend on yourself and your confidence grow. So this is the idea that I put in for self-sufficient would help you to develop the idea for one body paragraph.
Okay, Mr. Mohana, thank you for that explanation. Now, pupils, are you guys ready to present your body?
Can I see your paragraphs?
Yes, can I see them in front of your cameras? Okay.
Okay, wow. Okay, so, I would like you all to read out your paragraph. So, who would like to go first?
Who is first?
Okay, Danya Shri, I think she's really working hard to get her stars here.
Yes, I can
All
tell.
right, okay, Danya Shri.
In my perspective, young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families. It is because living alone has no boundaries and we are able to make our own rules. Moreover, our privacy and freedom are also guaranteed as we do not need to share our personal space with anyone else.
Okay, so I could see that you have used on making your own rules and freedom. All right? Okay, well done. So should we give her 1 star?
Yes, of course, Mr. Mohana. All right. Quickly, Dania, can we see your text again just to give
can we
a
see your
brief
text
idea?
again, Dania? Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Now, who would like to go next? Okay, Adriana. Okay, yes, Adriana. Can you please read your answer?
Can you show your
In
text
my
at the same
opinion.
time? Sorry. All right. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
In my opinion, young people should live at home even when they have started working. Living at home allows us to treasure the time we have with our loved ones. Being around our family members makes us learn to appreciate little things we do together. For instance, watching movies and cooking together.
Okay, so now Adriana's body paragraph, okay, she has attempted to use an example, right? Adriana, you have said, for instance, what are the things that you can do as a family, the fun things that you can do as a family. Okay, so probably that goes under traditional way of life. All right? Okay, thank you. Adriana, do you want a star?
Of course
Yes.
she does.
Okay, yes. Okay, let's give Adriana a star. Okay, so who would like to go next? We have Zini. Okay, Zini, would you like to try, Zini? Yes.
Eric coins have 2 phrases. Young people should live at home. It's because we can help one another with house chores so that it is less time as work can be done in a jiffy. For instance, we are able to learn teamwork as teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay, all right. So you talk about teamwork, you talk about helping one another in the family. Okay, so you have explained, okay, why it is important we should live as a family. Okay, Zini, okay, thank you. So 1 star for Zini.
Okay, 1 star for Zini. All right. Mr.
I'm
Mohana.
sure it's not fair if we do not listen to Isha's answer. So Isha, would you like to share yours as well? Can you show your answer first, Isha? All right. Okay, Isha. Okay, Isha, can you please read out your paragraph?
From my point of view, young people should leave home when they start working. It is because people who live alone are better at shouldering responsibilities than those living with their family, as growing up usually involves moving out on one's own and beginning one's journey to adulthood. They ensure that their rents and bills are paid on time and they learn to take care of themselves. In short, they know how to lead an independent life.
Okay, so I like the way you use your sequence connectors here, especially at the end, in short. In short, you have used the phrase in short to show that you are ending your paragraph. Okay, besides having the idea that you can extend on living alone and explain them. Okay, well done, Isha. So we are giving a star for Isha as well.
Okay,
so
another star
there's
for
no space
Isha.
for stars for
She
Isha.
has too many stars already.
So
Okay.
this is one example that I have given here. Okay, so if you see, when they leave their homes and live at far places, people tend to become more independent in addition to being confident and mature. For example, they need to take decisions on their own in regards to their personal and professional matters. Now, this is one example of paragraph where you can use to develop your body paragraph. Now, before we go to the next part, now can someone tell me, there is a slight mistake in this paragraph here. There's one mistake. Can anyone identify? If you manage to identify, I give you an extra star here.
Wow, that's
Very
a bonus.
quickly.
Who can see the mistake?
Shafika, I can give you 1 star if you can identify a mistake
okay.
here.
Let me read through for a bit.
Okay, so the mistake is hidden. There's only, yes, Dania, yes,
Dania would like to try. Go ahead.
So is it after the more independent in addition to being?
No, the mistake here is they need, yes, Adriana?
They need to take.
Yes, they need to take. So Adriana, you get an extra star.
Wow.
They need to take decisions on their
Okay.
own in
Good
regards
job,
to their personal and
Adriana.
professional matters. So in this segment, we have looked on how to develop a body paragraph. Right.
Not only, as you said just now, the mistake, not only you have to make sure your sentence makes sense, but you can also use linking or sentence connectors, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mohana. We'll go for a short break now and we'll be right back here on DidikTV.
DidikTV KPM.
Okay, now we're back on DidikTV KPM for our slot Menengah Atas, and today our subject is English. And with Mr. Mohana, we've reached one of the segments that perhaps we're touching on conclusions, right? Mr. Mohana, you can
Yes,
proceed.
Shafika.
Yeah.
In this segment, we are going to write a conclusion, okay, on how to develop a conclusion.
Right.
So the question is, do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Why or why not? And explain your opinion. So this is the entire idea that you have developed throughout the essay. So how do you go about writing the conclusion? So to write a conclusion, you have to understand that a conclusion is a closing paragraph is in which you give either your opinion or a balanced consideration of the topic. It is also a summary of ideas that you have presented throughout your essay. And remember, when you are writing a conclusion, do not provide new ideas or arguments in the closing paragraph. Okay, just summarize everything that you have stated throughout the body paragraph. And you also may end your essay by stating your opinion on the issue discussed. For example, you may just say that living alone is not ending up cutting ties with families. For example, one important opinion that you have, or a strong opinion that you have that you would like to share with the readers. Okay, so for example, okay, I have 3 examples here which I will read for you. The second example, okay, to sum up, camping holidays do have advantages. The main one being that they are far cheaper than other holidays. In my opinion, however, there is too much hard work involved for them to ever feel like a real holiday. So if you see, to indicate that this is the last paragraph, I start with the phrase to sum up. Okay, now if you say example 1, I start with on the whole, and example 3, I'm starting with taking everything into account. And these 3 examples are covering on different issues. Okay, so now let's go back to this task. Okay, do you think young people should leave home when they start working and learn to become independent of their families? Why or why not? Okay, pupils, you have about 1 minute, okay, plus or 1 minute or more, to come up with your conclusion, okay, with a conclusion for this topic. Okay, so can you start doing thumbs up?
Thumbs up, everyone.
Okay, yeah, get started now.
Good luck.
Go.
All right. Mr. Mohana, when you talk about doing the conclusion, at the beginning of the sentence, would you advise pupils to always use, what is it called, connectors or conjunctions?
Yes, yes. So like for example, what I've said here, if you see, when you're writing a conclusion, okay, to indicate that you are ending your whole essay,
Right.
it is important to have a signpost. I call it a signpost.
Signpost.
To show that you are ending, you are coming towards the end of your essay. Now, this is also important because it shows that you are organizing your essay in a proper way. For example, in body paragraph, you use besides, moreover, to show an extension of the idea that you have built, to indicate to the reader, okay, this part of the essay is actually an extension. Okay, so when you write at the end a conclusion, or in a nutshell, meaning to say you are summarizing the entire essay, so you are reaching the end of the essay.
Okay. Right. All right, pupils, are you guys ready, or do you still need more time?
Okay, who has done your conclusion? Put up your hand. Who would like to go? Okay, Dania. Okay, Dania, would you like to share? Can you show your conclusion? Did you write?
Okay, can you show on the screen, please?
Yeah, can you show on the screen, please? Okay, that is a little too small. Okay, can you please read out your conclusion?
Taking everything into account, there are both pros and cons of living alone and living at home. But every individual have different preferences of their way of living their lifestyle, and it's their decision anyways. However, in my opinion, living alone is more beneficial and comfortable compared to living at home.
Okay, so very good. Okay, so you have summed up the whole idea. You have said that everyone has their own preferences. Some of them want to live with the family, some of them prefer to live alone, and you have also given your opinion, your stand at the end of the essay. Okay, very well done, Danya Shri, and I'm sure you really deserve a star here. Or should we give her 2 stars? I think we should give her 2 stars here.
Yes, I think we should too.
Okay,
good
because
job.
she did exceptionally well for her conclusion. Yeah, very good, Danya Shri. So I give you 2 stars for this.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that is about writing a conclusion. Okay, so in today's lesson, okay, what we have explored here is we have first explored on how to write an introduction. Okay, we have looked on writing introduction, how to write the introduction, what are the ideas that you should put for introduction. Next, we have also developed ideas, how to develop the body paragraph and extend the idea. So that stands for paragraph 2 and 3. So check paragraph 1, paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 done. And finally, we also looked at how to write conclusion. Okay, how to write conclusion, what are the things that you need to include in a conclusion, and what are the things that you should and should not add in your conclusion. Okay, so basically a conclusion is summarizing the whole idea that you have developed throughout the essay.
All right.
And one last task, girls.
Thing.
Okay, so we are towards the end of our lesson now. Can anyone share one new thing that you have learned in today's lesson? Now,
Okay.
who would like to go first?
Let's have one pupil give that summary.
Okay, Adriana. Yes, Adriana.
Lesson, I have learned more keywords, which are adjectives, to describe when a person is either living alone or living with their parents.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. Okay, thank you, Adriana. Thumbs up. Okay, I'll give you 1 star. I know you are doing it for the stars, right? Okay, so I'm giving you 1 star here as well. Okay, so all right. So thanks for sharing. And Vinny, would you like to share one lesson learned as well?
Yes, very quickly.
I've learned a new word that is self-sufficient.
Good. Okay, Vinny, she has learned a new word, self-sufficient, and 1 star for Vinny.
Great. All right, Mr. Mohana, I'm very impressed at how fast and responsive our pupils are today. Perhaps give an overall mark or stars for them.
Okay, so overall, they have performed very well in today's task. Okay, they have given their opinion. In the beginning, they gave their opinion, then they wrote practically they completed an entire essay with an introduction, body paragraph, and a conclusion. So overall, I would want to give them all 5 stars, but only Isha made up to 5 stars. But 4 stars after all, very well as well. So
Yes.
girls, thumbs up to all of you. Very well
Good
done.
job, bravo. All right. For pupils at home, Mr. Mohana, where can they access extra materials for today's class?
Okay, for pupils at home, for extra materials, they can actually get them from Ministry of Education's portal, Sumbaku.
All right, Sumbaku, as shown on screen right now. Right, thank you, Mr. Mohana, for sharing us all the knowledge and a lesson for today. Thanks for being here in the studio with us, and thanks, pupils, for joining us and giving your great answers. We love that. And for Teacher Lina, thank you for being our sign language interpreter. For those watching, thank you for watching. I'm Shafiqa Rizali. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Bye bye.